I'm about to take this road train load of fencing wire from Perth all the way to roughly the middle of Australia, and you get to ride along in the passenger seat. But first we need to go and get some fuel because I'm nearly out. Alright, well here we are getting some fuel. I tell you what, I'm pretty empty, so let's see how much fuel this is going to take. $1.92. In the comments, let's play a bit of a competition. How many litres are we going to put in? Now, I tell you what, I'm pretty empty. Like, when I say empty, like, it's just above empty right now. Now look at the fuel tanks, they are big. So, how many litres in each fuel tank? Well, a maximum of 650 litres per tank, per side. Oh no, sorry, 650 litres for the front, and then the back ones are a little bit smaller because of the ice pack and stuff like that. So, how many litres are we going to get in? My guess is it's going to be about 17 to 1800. If you disagree, put them in the comments. Let's see who wins. Now, while that's fueling up, let's have a look at the load, see if anything's coming apart. Well, the only thing that's coming apart is really just some of the plastic. So, I think it's right there. I'll just tidy up that plastic. Apart from that, everything else is going well. But then again, I've only done a few kilometres. As you can see, it is getting kind of dark. So, don't know how much video we're going to take, but anyway, we're going to take as much as we can. There's the BP over there. That is the main BP, Mushay. This is where we are before we leave. And everyone's having a rest and stuff like that. So, what else can I say besides we're in for a real treat going to the middle of Australia. Now, have a look where we are. That's where we're going, right into that section there. That is across, you know, left to right, middle, not up and down. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. All right, so how are you going with those guesses for the how many litres? Well, we've just done one tank and it was at 495, so now we're at 530, and I've just started on the smaller tank there. So I'm not really that confident that we're going to get much more past 1700. Well, the results are in and I'm a little surprised, a little bit disappointed in fact. There's the numbers. That's this side, and would you believe I thought this side would get more. Let's have a look at the other side. And the passenger side gets in, well, that is pretty similar, isn't it? So what was the total? What's that, 1700 litres? Well, I said about 1700. I thought I might be able to get more. Right, all I do now is fill up my water bottle. I've got a 10 litre water bottle because I just use tap water, and we're going to hit the road. All right, one last thing before we go, and then we're going to get coffee because, well, we'll have a look at the BPs while we're here. There's trucks everywhere here. There's a couple, well, it's 3 deep over there, I think. So this is the BP Mushay. Now, one thing I do here, I usually get these. These are pretty cheap, $9.90. The ham and salad, they're really nice. Otherwise, the sweet chilli, and that's about it. I have got the Turkish roll on the occasion. But apart from that, there we have it. That's the BP. People are there. We'll go around and have a look at the showers. So this is the truck driver's room. I've never really seen people sit here. But as you can see, it's nice, and watch a bit of TV. Howdy. Right. Oh, okay. And apart from that, we have showers go there. in all those doors. You won't bother having any of those. Tallest that way. But we'll just head back out. I tell you what, aren't these murals, photos really nice? Alright, we've got our coffee, so all we've got to do is just to head off. Trucks are lining up here. This is what normally happens, you know, as the day goes on. People all arrive, people will be loading during the day, and at night time they head off. Alright, well here we are in one of the many parking bays, and I've just stopped for a break because I was tired. Now I'm feeling great. So while we're stopped, we're going to have a look around and make sure that everything's right, including the tyres, rims and everything like that. I've already checked those. The load, all the straps are fine. So how are we checking the rims? Well, I touched the tyre, I touched the rim, the hub, and I basically feel to see if anything's out of the ordinary. Now, you might think, well, how's that going to help? How's that going to tell you anything? Well, what happens is, let's just give this a tyre an example. If you touch the tyre, well, I've touched a few now already, so I know roughly how hot they should be. If I find, let's just say this tyre was hotter than all the others, then it's going to show that one of these tyres is down. Now, that tyre is a little hotter, but it's only a little bit, so it's nothing to worry about. So that's how you do it. That's the easiest way to do it. Now some people have, you know, the temperature guns, and they will go around and, you know, check the temperature of everyone. Well, that's not really, it doesn't really matter whether it's a few degrees hotter or cooler or whatever and stuff like that. It's just a rough idea. Is this tyre or hub hotter? Now we're checking the hubs because if those hubs, this is the hub here, if that is hotter, there's two reasons for that. One, and the most important one, is that the bearings are going in there, because in behind here there's bearings, and of course if those bearings go, then this heats up more and more until, well, literally it'll catch on fire. In fact, I have seen this red hot at night time where it's glowing. Hasn't caught on fire. Now, not mine, not my truck, of course, no. So that's the really important thing. That's why you see truck fires. A lot of them are the bearings. They've just not checked them, driven along, and they get so hot, and then the hub catches on fire, or that gets so hot, the heat transfers out, the tyre, well, that catches on fire, and then of course the fire just goes to the rest of the trailer, and once the trailer goes up, especially the load as well, it's all over, and many times you just can't do anything about it besides get out the marshmallows. That's a sad sight, seen that many times. So there we go, load's going well, the trailers are going well, and the tyres and everything. So we'll get back in and do a few more kilometres, because let's see, how many kilometres have we done today so far? Probably, let's see, we started there, so I say about 600. It's not that many, is it? Anyway, looking around the parking bay, apart from the some of the parking bays don't have any bitumen, they're just like gravel, and you know, some of them don't have a nice chairs, but they do have bins, which is good because many times people have rubbish. In fact, I have a bit of rubbish. So I'm going to get that and we're going to head off. Well, here we are at Cockle Roadhouse, and this is one of my favourite roadhouses, apart from Madura. Just stopped in here to get a coffee and use the tallest bridge right behind us. Everything's going well, and what can I say? It's a beautiful night out here. It's been pretty cold in Perth, and especially Melbourne, but here, well, I could be in shorts and t-shirt. So this is one of the locations that there are a lot of changeovers. You'll see some trucks over there, and some trucks over here. Well, they're I guess they've had enough for the night. And there's the BP and the caravan park, which you probably can't see because it is a bit dark. Anyway, let's get in and continue. What am I saying? Yes, continue, that's right, for a couple of 100 kilometres, because I've still got a bit left in me. Well, here we are on the edge of Australia. This is the Great Australian Bight, and pretty beautiful sight. Talking about beautiful sights, what do you think of the new merchandise? Got the new hat there and the t-shirts and stuff. So I might just give a shameless plug while I'm here. If you're interested in a bit of merchandise, we have it all available for sale, and it's not too bad a price too. Go to roadtrainadventures.com and check out the merchandise. We've got hoodies and jumpers, long sleeve shirts and cups and all sorts of stuff. We're going to be adding more. Also, for the people who have been talking about the music that they like, my videos, I'm going to try to make that available soon too. It's not on there yet, but it will be soon. So, the Bunda Cliffs in South Australia. I did just go through the WA boundary before. I was going to stop there for a coffee, but I usually stop at the Nullarbor. As you know, it's they got a really nice coffee there at the Nullarbor. So let's go for a bit of fly around and show you the sights of Bunda Cliffs.
Sunrise paints the outback gold, a brand new day is here. John O's revving up his engine, a smile upon his face.
Here we are at Nullarbor Roadhouse, and well, it's all happening here. I've managed to put some cars on top of my load. No, well, you can see what's happening there. The car carrier behind. So, what are we doing here? Big toilet break, and not to forget our coffee, because this place has the best great coffee, and I just can't stop. Sorry, I can't pass here without getting a coffee, because, well, you don't get much good coffee out here.
Road train, putting worries to rest. The red dirt flies behind him, a plume against the blue. He honks his horn at kangaroos, a friendly Aussie sound. He knows every bend and corner, what's he's gotta do to deliver all the goods. That's the only promise bound. Road train, a mighty metal beast. John O's at the wheel, putting skill to the test. Across Australia, a joyful outback feast. Road train, putting worries to rest.
So we've just arrived at Ceduna, and that's where we're going for lunch. Hungry Jacks, I get it a lot. But I just want to highlight a bit of a problem here. The car park has been in total disarray for a long time. Now, they've kind of filled up some of these potholes here, but if you look over here, I don't know how well you can see all of that, but these potholes get deeper and deeper, and in order to turn, I mean, it gets really bad over there, to turn a road train to park, you know, where you're supposed to, it's a minefield, a real minefield too. So, I don't know, they have fixed up this years ago once, and I forget who runs, or who, this could be government land, I don't know. If anyone knows, put in the comments, and maybe we can put a call out and see if they can fix this up. I mean, really, this kind of stuff, because the road trains are just ripping it up, you know, when you turn with the duals, or the tri, you are going to rip up the pavement. So maybe thicker base or something. I don't know. I'm not a road worker. I don't know. But something needs to be done because it's pretty rough. Well, hello. Well, we've left Ceduna. We're going up the big hill. Well, long, slow hill. So Ceduna's a nice place. Funny little stories. On the occasion where I have to walk in the streets of Ceduna to go somewhere, the locals don't mind stopping you and asking if you got any money or cigarettes and stuff like that. Yeah. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Aboriginals. I don't know why, but I just do. Maybe it's because I grew up in a town which had a lot of Aboriginals and stuff like that. They weren't much trouble, well, most of the time. One time there was riots, and I don't remember what it was. I remember I was young, I was like 10 or 12 or something like that, and I remember they were rioting, and every single night, or was it just for these couple of nights, I think there was some death in some family, so all the Aboriginal, the families coming from all the other country towns, and for some reason there were fights, and they just went through the whole town, just smashed all the windows to the shop fronts, and I mean, for a couple of days there, they were encouraged, basically we were told don't go out at night time and stay indoors and stuff like that, there could be trouble. I remember another funny story, I mean, I think they're funny now. I must have been a heavy sleeper or something. Anyway, I went to sleep, and then in the morning, we had nice grass. although we were planting it, so it was nice grass coming through. And in the morning I woke up and there were like these different like holes in the front of our lawn. I said to Mum, well, what happened there? Now Mum lived at the front of the house, of course, and she said, oh, the next door neighbour Aboriginals are fighting, and they spilled out onto our lawn, and they just basically tore it up as they were trying to, you know, yeah. So anyway, yeah, funny stories that you can tell about. Yeah.
Road train, a mighty metal beast. Jono's at the wheel, putting skill to the test. Across Australia, a joyful outback feast. Road train, putting worries to rest. He listens to the Eagles, cranked up on the radio, singing Hotel California, a tune he knows by heart. The miles are melting quickly, a steady, easy flow. Jono's got the rhythm down right from the very start.
Well, here we are at Yongala, and I think it's Yongala or Yongala. This is South Australia. Beautiful little town on a very cool morning. So what can I say about this place? The town was, I guess we should say it started in 1871, but proclaimed in 1876, so that's when it was really a town, I guess. And its peak, it had 353 people. And the reason it peaked that, because they all thought that the railway was going to go through here, so I guess it was convenience, I don't know. But the railway didn't. It ended up going 10 kilometres up the road at Tibooburra, so that's where the railway is now. Yes. Now, what am I dribbling on about? This road here, as you can see, I'm on it. It's a road train route. This road is where all of the trucks pass to go to Brisbane, you know, Brisbane to Perth and all that kind of stuff. So it's it can be busy, even though there's no trucks right now. Anyway, I thought I'd stop and have a look at some of these shops, because we pass it all the time, but we never actually go in and have a look. So let's have a look at some things. Actually, one of the things up here, I don't know, some of you guys might recognise all of these items and stuff like that, but I remember these. Do you remember that kind of egg beater there? Wow. Kids, that's the way we used to beat eggs. None of this electrical stuff. I can't quite see at the back there. Can you see if I put the camera up there? So, of course, these shops are no longer. Oh, there's some very old stuff in here. So I don't see any dates and stuff for that, but it is all stone, and I guess all the stone buildings. So that's it. There are, of course, some houses over there. There's a shop there, house over there, and the farms in the background and stuff. Would have been a nice, quiet place. Not so quiet with us trucks going by. Well, talking about going by, I think we should go by and continue on, because the fun of getting close to Inaminka and up to Cameron's Corner, which I have confirmed now, we are going to be going to Cameron's Corner. Whether we can take the truck there, if we get close enough, we will. Otherwise, the guy who we're delivering the fencing for, he said he's going to run me up if we're not close enough, so should be fun. So this is the police station behind us. So what happened? Jeff, well, what he would do is he would, for some reason, pull over truck drivers. Well, actually, I know the legend goes that his wife ran off with the truck driver, and now he didn't like truck drivers, and he would just pull over people, truck drivers, whenever possible, and go to town on them. Now he got bashed a number of times by bikies and truckies and stuff like that, because he just crossed the line a bit too much. And he did pull me over once, and he said to me, "Oh, do you know who I am?" And I didn't know who he was, because I was at Iron Knob, and you know, proceeded to walk around the truck and try to find something wrong. He went through permits and everything. He couldn't find anything wrong, and I thought, you beauty. Now, back then I was driving a float. Now the float is like, you know, the heavy haulage, the oversized and stuff like that. So he walked around, he couldn't find anything wrong. He was about to go. Now, I was missing an extendable mirror. In this dodgy South Australia, they have extendable mirrors, and I didn't have one because, well, I made up the excuse that it fell as I was putting it on, fell and it broke, and you know, I didn't have one. I made sure the one on the on the driver's side was there, but anyway, as he was walking around, he saw it that was missing, and he said, "Oh, well, got to give you a fine for that." I thought, "Really? Do you really have to?" He said, "Oh, it's only a small fine." So $120 he gave me. I thought I was going to be one of the first to get to escape his lair anyway, but not to be. So what about the history of the place? Well, in the mid-1880s, there's a railway over there, as you can see, and there are some tanks, and there was a water catchment area. This is the main railway line between Tarauri and Coburn. Coburn's a place that we're going to be coming to down the road. Private property, keep out. So unfortunately, I can't really go into the back of a lot of these places. I was hoping to really go for a bit of an explore, but unfortunately, we should respect other people's property. Well, just off the highway, behind the train station there, is this. This is a gateway in the middle of nowhere. Well, it doesn't go anywhere. I guess this is the old big tanks. Well, I guess this is the big tank for all the water. And now they've made a new modern one over there. Not that they need that for trains. Maybe it's the town's water supply. So this is Di. She's just been showing me around, and she's a train fanatic, and she loves the old Morris Mini.
riding the curve, dust storms both to the nerve. He preserves road train adventures, tearing through the sand.
Okay, you can't see it, but this is the family hotel. And I've just been in and doing a bit of a walk around and, well, very friendly. So Melissa's the owner of this place. And so the difference between this and the previous one was this one is very old. It's got some beautiful murals inside. And we'll go in and have a look at that again. And these murals were made or drawn by Clifton Pugh in the 1960s.
Road train adventures, tearing through the sand. Jono at the wheel, gripping with one hand. Thunder on the highway, carving up the
So as I walk back to down the street, there's my truck there. It's a fairly friendly town. The family pub was very nice, so I recommend going there and having a look. Well, after getting a coffee at Tibooburra, now I know how to say the name. I finally found a local. Well, I actually found a few, but anyway, she was very helpful. Had a coffee. So I got the coffee. Coffees are not cheap here. $8 for a large, but it's got to come a long way. So here we are. The town, if you can see over in the distance, the sun isn't even up, but right there is the town. I've just come out of there. Now we're waiting for the guy who's going to come and show me where this stuff's going. I think it's like 35 kilometres or so far up the road, I don't know, but anyway, we'll just get there soon. There's another, what's that, cattle? Yes, cattle crate ready to go and pick up, I guess. I don't think there's anything in there. And it's a cool, brisk morning too. It was really reasonably warm in Port Augusta. Well, it's got Broken Hill last night, or the night before, was pretty cold. And then up here, I thought it was quite warm last night. And then it said it was going to get down to 6 degrees. And yes, I think it is 6 degrees. Anyway, let's get back in to the warmth, have our coffee, and Dan should be along shortly. Well, we're on our way, and Dan's up ahead there in the dust. So I've just stuck back a little, and well, 80 kilometres it is, a little further than I thought. Well, we've just about made it. We're just about to pull up. It's at some house. I can see the antenna, and I saw the house just off in the distance here. Somewhere around here is the Queensland boundary, and it's the house we're going to. Oh, there's some power lines over there, so I would say that's it. And I can see his tracks. There it is, the fence. Well, what an absolute beautiful day it is. It started out cold, but now absolutely beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky everywhere you look. So Dan's going well, unloading there, and this trailer, apart from that little bit, is finished. I put the gates down, and I'll put the gates down on that one there, just to stop a little bit of drag. And after this, I don't know if we're going to have a coffee or tea or whatever we do on the farm, but I think we will have to go over to Cameron's Corner and have a look at the what's on offer there. And that's it, the last of the whole load. An empty truck and trailer. So I just put that last gate down at the back there, and we can head off to our next journey. Well, from here we're going to jump in Dan's ute and go the rest of the way, because can't take the truck, it's just too far. So let's go and see how we go. Well, we've made it, Cameron's Corner. So this is it. Go inside and see what the pub looks like. Oof, shut that door. Well, like lots of places, they've all got the hats. Kind of funny. That is a real urinal. Well, we made it to Cameron's Corner, and this is it right here. So it's just a post in the ground. So right there is it. Queensland, New South Wales, South Australia. So that being the case, in South Australia now, New South Wales and Queensland. Jeez, I'm fast. Anyway, talking about fast, I'm going to get back to the truck because the flies are starting to come out in force. We got to get back. Dan, he's got to get back to his wife and kids. He lives about 4 hours away. So it is time for us all to make a move and get on. Well, we've arrived to the bitumen. So as you'll see back there is the bitumen. And what do we need to do after we've been going on the gravel roads? Where's our hammer? We need to de-dust the rims, these things. Now, some of them are going to be really bad, some of them are... And of course, what happens is the front ones aren't going to be so bad. In fact, these are not as bad as, I think a fair bit in there. Oh yeah. I think the other side might even be worse. So anyway, I won't make you watch all of this. I will go around and do this and then we'll see where we are. Now our final destination of this epic trip is Packsaddle Roadhouse. Looks pretty nice, so let's go and have a look. Well, look at that. That is awesome. I was planning for something small, but looks like I'm going to eat with this now. Look at that for a burger. Very nice. Wow, that was great. That was the Packsaddle Roadhouse, and I tell you what, the toilets, everything was amazing, and the steak sandwich. If you're coming up here to Tibooburra, oh God, I keep forgetting to say how to say it. You've got to come in and check out all they've got to offer, because that is one of the best roadhouses I've ever been to. And now, don't forget the merchandise. If you want to check out the website, roadtrainadventures.com, and check out what I've got. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I think we're going to end it here because the sun's going down, we're empty, and all we're doing is going back to the yard. So thanks for coming, and I'll see you in the next one.